I'm Justina Page. I'm super excited to be here today to share the love of God and the power that He has chosen to work in my life. Our God is just simply awesome.
I'm going to share a word of encouragement today. I'm going to title it, It's All Good, It's All God.
If you are a born again believer in Jesus Christ, God's only begotten Son, guess what? It's all good and it's all God. It doesn't matter what you went through in the past. It doesn't matter what you're going through right now. It doesn't matter what you're going to face in the future. It's all good and it's all God.
Life circumstances have no power over us, but the power we give them. Because we are children of the King, every situation we find ourselves in will deliver us a good thing. Romans 8:28. And we know that all things work together for good to them who love God, to them who are called.
Unfortunately, that doesn't mean we're not going to experience hard times. What it means is that the aftermath is going to turn out good.
I learned valuable spiritual lessons from a devastating experience.
I met my husband on a college campus back in 1985. And to be honest, we did not hit it off right away. But eventually, God drew us together. He asked me to be the mother of his children, and we proceeded to get married. We had 6 sons: Jonathan James, Joseph James, Caleb James, Daniel James. And then I had twins, so we switched it up a little bit: Amos Benaiah and Benjamin Josiah. My husband was a Shell scholar, so he moved to Houston, where he had his internship with Shell. We set up life here, and we were very happy. He was a Holland-based engineer, electrical engineer. It afforded me the opportunity to be at home with my children, which I loved. Our whole life revolved around these children. They were everything, and my goal was to set up this godly legacy. Life is going good. Everything's going fine until we wake up on March 7th, 1999, in the early morning hours to explosions. Things popping. I mean, it was a full flourishing 5 alarm house fire. I was the first person to wake up, so I shook my husband and screamed, "The house is on fire." Actually had to hit him in the head to wake him up. Obviously, the carbon monoxide probably put us out. He just in pure adrenaline threw out an air conditioner and threw me out the window to get me out. Now, as a homeschool mother, I had taught my children about fire safety. We had made the trip to the fire museum. I did not ever expect to have to use this knowledge. So, on a side note, know your fire safety, know what to do, practice what you need to do. This is what probably saved the older boy's life. But anyway, he throws me out. I know the rule. Once you're out of a burning building, you do not return under no circumstances. My other boys grab their 2 younger brothers and they go to the point, and my husband was able to safely get them out, even though all of them were burned. Me, myself, I had twin boys. They were 22 months at the time. They could not follow a fire safety um, rule or laws. So I jumped back in an attempt to save them. Unfortunately for me, a bookshelf fell on me and burned me. And I laid there just burning literally to death and thinking, oh my God, this is how my life is going to end. Eventually, I could hear, I'm fading in and out of consciousness, but I could hear my husband, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? And he lifted me up and threw me out again. And I'm so badly burned, the flesh is literally just dropping off of my body. The neighbor drags me under my armpits because they can't really touch me. And she puts her head to my head to hold my head up. while we're waiting for the ambulance and the paramedics to get there and the firefighters to get there. Meanwhile, this fire is so severe that my husband had to run around to the back of the house, the back neighbor, jump over the back neighbor's fence, over our fence, in an attempt to try to get to the nursery, which was really attached to our master bedroom. He jumps in, and I tell you, this man is jumping in and out of fire, trying desperately to save all of us. So he jumps in, he grabs one of the twins, Benjamin. Benjamin, being a baby, he hollers. So he has internal burns, he has facial burns, he has upper extremity burns. He's in really bad shape. And then the house caves in before he's able to get the last son. So we lose Amos on sight. I don't know that. I'm in the front yard just screaming. I have 6 sons. Get my boys. I have 6 sons. And someone said, we got 2. I'm like, no, no, no. I need 6. They took us off to the hospital, 2 and 2. Of course, I didn't know that either. I'm really about half gone. And the paramedics, I could feel their tears dropping on me, asking me to breathe. Please breathe, baby. Please breathe. And I hear this sound like an animal, type of sound. And I pass out when I realize that that's the sound of one of my children feeling this debilitating pain that I was feeling, only to wake up 6 weeks later. I wake up intubated on the breathing tube, that is, totally twice my size, a pain that I just still can't describe even after so many years. And I would love to say my first thought was, it's all good, it's all God. No, my first thought was, what the hell, God? What happened here? But I tell you what, I did get past that point. I experienced anger, and I like transparency. I experienced wondering why. I experienced all these things that you experience when something traumatic happens to you. But after my physical rehabilitation, I was allowed to drive again. I'll never forget my turnaround point. I drove up to my best friend's house. We were having a women's fellowship there. And most of the school-age children were in school, but the younger kids, I had Benjamin with me. I was watching the mothers bring all their younger kids in, and I was sitting in the car. And I'll never forget it because the neighbor was looking at me. I just had a total breakdown. Everyone thought I was okay because I had physically healed, but my heart still hadn't healed yet. And what happened, I'm in the car and I'm wailing, oh my God, why do they have their children, God? Why did you take my child? Why did you start this fire? I'm blaming him for all of this. Why? And I'll never forget, this is one of the most profound moments of my life. The Lord spoke back to me and told me, this is not about you. And I remember going from hysterical crying to hysterical laughter. And I know the neighbor, he thought I was loony. But in my heart, I'm thinking, and I said it audibly, Lord, for this not to be about me, it sure involved quite a bit of me. You have to explain this to me. And he did. And he told me this. He said, I am the Son. You revolve around my will. I don't revolve around your will. I make all things work together for good, for those who love me and are called according to my purpose. In other words, he knows what he's doing, and he's far enough away from our situations to know what to allow, that it will work something marvelous. Does he set fires? Was the fire his intent? No. But was something good going to come out of it? Absolutely. Ecclesiastes 3:11. He has made everything beautiful in his time. In time, I healed. In time, I found courage. In time, I was able to live again. My life is beautiful, scars, pain, and all. I personally believe that the greater our experience is, the greater the call. In the midst of tragedy and trying times, God has the unique ability to birth vision and purpose in our lives.
If you are facing a difficult time right now, I want to encourage you. I have been you. I was there facing the most difficult time in my life, laying on a hospital bed, unable to move or do anything for myself, body racking in pain, grieving the loss of my son. All I wanted to know was if I was going to make it out of the hospital alive.
This box right here represents a precious gift that God had given us. It's called the gift of life. And this ribbon and this bow represents his anointing, his unique anointing that's on each and every one of us. And we all have our special bow, our special color, our special tie. What the enemy wants to do is take the trying times in our lives and he wants to unloose it and make it raggedy and tear it apart. And he wants to destroy us because of circumstances. But guess what? We have secret weapons. Inside of that gift called life, and inside of that new life God has given us through Christ, he have gave us weapons that we can fight with. He's given us love and joy and peace and long suffering. He's given us kindness and goodness and faithfulness. I love it. And gentleness and self-control. All things we can use as we trust Jesus. And we know that it's going to be all right with us.
Trapped inside of you is a vision that can change the world. Unleash it. It's all good. It's all God.
Hang in there, my sisters. You can't fail. It's just impossible. All things are possible with God. So you're going to make it. I have enjoyed this time with you. Blessings and peace be multiplied to you.